Zachary Edvane, the so-called greatest magician around, was up bright and early, ready to start another day. When he walked out of the tour bus, he was surprised to see someone sitting under the roof dock by the lakeside. It was Catherine. Zachary walked down the foggy boardwalk. Didn't expect you to be back so early. Catherine jumped up when she heard his voice. How did you bring me here last night? Zachary chuckled. What? Why would I bring a young woman like you here by the lakeside last night? No, not again. You're not fooling me with another one of your illusions. How did you do it? The time trick? The water trick? And yesterday, we literally teleported. Well, being a magician yourself, you should know that a good magician never reveals his secrets. That's the thing. There can be no way anyone can do or ever has done what you do. Not everyone can do everything. Let's start with smaller tricks first. You can work your way up. Zachary turned and walked down the path again. Come on, let's go have breakfast. There's a long day ahead of us. 5 more days in Loveland before we travel to Denver for the big show. I want you to be my trusty famulus. Catherine ran after him. You mean you want me to be on stage with you? Yes, a pretty face like yours will be the perfect distraction. Catherine went out to bring food from the nearby diner. She ordered pancakes, eggs, and sausages with a steaming cup of hot coffee and hurried back to the tour bus where Zachary was waiting for her. She put the paper bag onto the table. Enjoy. You know what I was thinking? I should have told you before you left. I didn't really feel like having pancakes. Oh, that's all right. I can go back again. No, sit down. There's no need for that. Zachary picked up the paper bag and gave it a little shake. He opened it up and served Catherine burgers and french fries. Catherine widened her eyes in shock. She took the bag and looked inside. She picked up the burgers and took a sniff. How do you do these things? I went to the diner, I ordered pancakes, I saw them put the pancakes in the bag, and then I checked the bag. And you made them into burgers? They aren't even making burgers this early in the morning. Zachary chuckled. Take it easy. Enjoy. The food is getting cold. Catherine spent the next few days training with Zachary. She realized she had an upper hand over all of his team members. The rest of the crew was just there to carry Zachary's things, drive the bus, and arrange all things money. But Catherine had a hand for magic. Over the days of being side by side with Zachary, she came to know a lot of the smaller tricks he performed. You guys must know how Zachary performs all these illusions. From the perspective of the audience, though, it's out of this world. Yeah, Zachary is the best magician around. So how was it that he divided the lake into 2? I couldn't get my head around that one. None of us know how he does it. Zachary never shares his secrets with anyone. But maybe he'll tell you. He seems to have a soft side for you. Well, I hope so. So you're saying the tricks are spontaneous? Spontaneous or not, there's only one word that can explain it. Magic. When a few days had passed by and Catherine hadn't returned to college, she suddenly got a call from her friend Lily. Catherine, where are you? You haven't been to class in days. Oh, that's right. I forgot to tell you guys, I dropped out this semester. Dropped out? Why? Is everything okay? Yeah, everything's fine. I'm with Zachary Edvane in Loveland. He's taken me as his apprentice. No way. When will you be back? Not until I learn all his secrets, I won't. Wow, you are crazy obsessed about this stuff. But while you're at it, could you arrange me a date with Zachary? Please, pretty please? Lily, I don't have time for all of this. Alright. By the way, does your dad know where you are? Didn't he disapprove of you just dropping out of college like this? Yeah, he knows, but he always supports me in my passion. He's the best dad a girl can have. Anyways, I'll talk to you later. Catherine put down the phone. It had been about a week, and Catherine still hadn't figured how Zachary performed most of his magical illusions. How did he manipulate time? How did he control water? How did he do the impossible? Some thought Catherine was obsessed about magic, crazy when it came to mastering a new trick. No one in their right minds would leave everything in their life to spy after an illusionist. But Catherine had to. This was about someone who had given her this life of her own. Catherine was the only child of two proud parents. Her mother was a nurse and her father was a researcher. He worked from home, and Catherine grew up spending a lot of time with him rather than with her mother. That was actually where Catherine learned all the magic tricks. Catherine's father was a magician himself. However, not many people knew about his passion. It was a secret in the family. Catherine's father dressed up in his costume, put on a fake beard, and used a fake voice. He had acquired much fame in Monte Vista, and often traveled around the state performing at various venues and shows under the name The White Wizard. Her father was her mentor, and she learned how to decipher the tricks performed by other rival magicians from him. But it was when Catherine saw Zachary at a vein, she was taken aback by his illusions. She had never seen any magician in history do the things he did. So she returned to her hometown, where she eagerly asked her father. That's when she found out that her father had stopped performing as the White Wizard. He had put aside his magic career. After a little pushing and budging, the reason turned out to be Zachary at a vein. Ever since Zachary came into the picture and started touring around Colorado, not just Catherine's father, but many other small-town magicians were going out of business. They were losing their jobs. No one wanted to go see their shows, and no one enjoyed the simple, wholehearted magic tricks they performed anymore. Everyone wanted something more, someone who could fly, bring down the stars, and make time fly. Catherine knew his tricks were impossible in reality. Making an illusion out of them was something different. Catherine hated to see her father depressed, leaving what he loved to do. So she left everything to decipher this new magician herself. But so far, Catherine had no luck in discovering his greatest tricks. Tricks that now only seemed like sheer magic. The next morning, the bus traveled with the magic crew to Denver, Colorado. It parked into the BII Theater at about 12 p.m. The crew immediately started preparing the stage. Catherine was a bit anxious, but she was ready to perform. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what you're about to see today may make some of you skeptic, and some of you absolutely puzzled. So not only will I be performing this magic trick with my lovely assistant, Catherine here, but with some of you from the crowd. Some people from the audience jumped up raising their hands. They were picked out by the crew and escorted to the stage. Meanwhile, Catherine brought out a large piece of glass. She knocked on it to show it was real. It was placed sideways to the view of the crowd, so that they could see what was on either side of it. And there was nothing. It was simply a piece of thick, hard glass. "All right, Catherine, why don't you come here and step into the glass for me, as if you're going through a door." Catherine didn't know what Zachary was talking about. They hadn't prepared for this. He performed the illusions itself on his own. Catherine did as she was told, stopping at the glass, which she obviously couldn't go through like that. "What happened? Go." "You expect me to go through this?" "Of course, go." "But I can't." "Very well then, perhaps someone else can." Zachary ushered the volunteers to make their way. But obviously, none of them were able to go past the piece of glass. Everyone returned to their seats, waiting in excitement to see what Zachary would do next. Sometimes, all it takes is a little belief in the power of magic to make the impossible possible. Zachary said as he stretched forth his hand and penetrated into the glass to the other side. Catherine stumbled back in awe. Seeing this from afar and seeing it from up close was a totally different experience. Catherine turned the glass aside to show the audience it was no illusion, simply walked through it. The crowd gasped, all bewildered by what they had just seen. One applause turned into many as Zachary and Catherine bowed to the audience. Thank you all for your love, but you all have yet to see the biggest surprise of the night. Catherine looked at Zachary confused. She had no clue what was to happen next. She whispered, "What are you going to do?" Zachary chuckled. What all magicians do, make people believe in magic. With that, Zachary ran off the stage and jumped into the air. At once, the people gathered to catch him, but to everyone's amazement, Zachary disappeared into thin air. That was the last time Zachary Edevane was to be seen. It was no illusion. He had simply vanished. It was as if he were erased from existence. For days, people were out on a hunt for him, but he was nowhere to be seen. Catherine was left speechless. She was overawed. Even after staying with Zachary, she was unable to decipher anything about him. It led her to question the only thing that was left to believe. Had she believed in something false her whole life? Only a mere illusion, while something more real existed? Magic existed? Zachary Edevane was no ordinary man. He had made Catherine see the clear line between an illusion and magic. The truth was, Zachary Edevane was no illusionist. He was a true magician. The question that only remained now was, how long before you believe in magic? Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting.